Welcome back, folks. In today's class, I'll talk about the final chapter, that is the probability distribution, and that is chapter number 5. And in this short video, I'll talk about the approach for finding the probability. So there are three approaches. One is the classical, second one is the empirical, and the third one is the subjective probability distribution. Now, classical approach. When to use the classical approach? Where every outcome in a sample has same likelihood of occurring. So every outcome has same likelihood heard of occurring. Okay, then we use the classical approach. An example of this one can be you toss a coin. So what is the probability of getting heads? Probability of getting the heads is 1 over 2. What is the probability of getting tails? That is also 1 over 2. So every outcome, there can only be two outcomes, and both outcomes has equal opportunity of occurring. So this when that kind of a thing happens, at that time we will use the classical approach. And another example can be rolling of the dice. When you roll a dice, what is the probability of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? They all have equal opportunity of occurring. So each one of them has the probability of getting that number is 1 over 6. So this is the classical approach. Then the second one is the empirical approach. Empirical approach is used based on the some previous data. So you had some previous experiments which you conducted, and based on those previous experiments, you can make a probability. For example, let's say you run a call center, and last time when you run a call center, there were 150 calls were received, and out of those 150 calls, 45 calls were diverted towards the manager. So based on this data, I can say the probability of that the call will be transferred to the manager will be 45 over 150, that is 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 approximately. So, or no, not 1 over 3. This is, I will say, as 3 over 10. So, which will be 0.3, approximately 33% of the calls, or 30% of the calls, shall I say, not 33. So, now, based on this data, I can say that the probability that next call next call received at the customer service or customer support center will require a manager is 30% or 0.3. So based on the previous data which we collected, we can make a prediction about the future that 30% chances when the next call is going to be arriving, that call will be transferred to the manager. Then the third one is subjective approach. Subjective approach is based on your past experience. This was based on the previous experiment, empirical approach, and this is based on past experiences. That's what subjective approach is. It's like more of an educational guess or personal belief that you can say what is the probability that the student will pass or fail based on my previous experience with someone who's not coming to the class. The probability of that student passing the course is maybe 20%, and whosoever is attending, based on my previous experience, the probability of a student passing the course is 80%, for someone who's coming to the class. If I would have conducted a proper research, then it would have become an empirical. But if I do not conduct any research, I don't have any previous data to rely on, I'm just making an educational guess, then it will become a subjective approach. So hopefully you were able to understand three types of probabilities. In the next video, we will talk about more on probability. We'll talk about the tree diagrams on probability. Till then, goodbye.